Hello everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the Monitoring and Evaluation Circle. My name is NelsonJF Consulting, and as always, it's a pleasure to connect with you, share ideas, and improve our monitoring and evaluation practices together. In the previous episode, we clarified what monitoring is and why it plays a key role throughout the project lifecycle. Well, in project management, several tools can be used to support effective monitoring, including the activity tracking plan, the indicator tracking table, and regular review or reflection meetings. But in today's episode of the Monitoring and Evaluation Circle, we will focus on one tool in particular, the indicator tracking table. We will explore why it's essential, how it's structured, and most importantly, how it can be used in practice to support learning and decision making. Before going any further, let's set the foundation. Well, an indicator tracking table is a structured tool that helps organize and track data related to a project's indicators in a systematic way over time. The indicator tracking table serves as a bridge between planning and action by linking your logic model to what is actually happening during implementation. The indicator tracking table can be used in any type of project, regardless of context, size, or target population, because it helps teams assess whether they are on track, understand what is working well, and identify areas where adjustments are needed. Now, let's look at how an indicator tracking table is typically structured. Although the format may differ, most indicator tracking tables follow a similar structure. They begin by outlining the result or outcome the project aims to achieve, followed by indicators that explain how that change will be measured. Each indicator is clearly defined. The starting point is established through a baseline, and targets are set to describe what success looks like and within what time frame. The table also identifies where the data comes from, how it will be collected, and how often. It assigns clear responsibility for data collection and reporting, ensuring accountability. Finally, it captures current results and, most importantly, provide a space to interpret what those results mean and to determine whether any adjustments are needed. An indicator tracking table doesn't have to exist in just one format. It can be as simple as an Excel or Google Sheets file, especially for small or community-based projects where accessibility and ease of use matter most. As projects grow in size or complexity, some organizations choose more advanced tools like Power BI or Tableau to visualize trends, compare results, and share information more effectively. Ultimately, the best tool is not the most sophisticated one, but the one that fits the team's capacity, resources, and decision-making needs. Now, let's look at a concrete example from a youth initiative. The project has two key outcomes. The first outcome focuses on improving employability skills among youth. To measure this, the team tracks the percentage of youth who demonstrate improved skills after completing the training compared to where they started. At baseline, only 25% of youth showed strong employability skills. The target is to reach 70%. At this point in the project, current results show 55%. Well, this tells the team that progress is being made, but also highlights a gap, particularly around interview confidence. Based on this information, the team can decide to add more coaching or practical interview sessions. The second outcome looks at whether youth actually transition into education, training, or employment. Here, the indicator measures the percentage of graduates engaged in one of those pathways within 6 months. While the baseline was 40%, the current result is 48% with a target of 65%. This data helps the team see that engagement is improving, but not as quickly as expected. The comments column captures possible explanations such as labor market conditions and points to potential actions like improving partnership with employers. So the indicator tracking table goes beyond simply displaying numbers. It supports reflection, learning, and strong decision making throughout the project. However, to play this role effectively, the table must be updated regularly, reviewed during team meetings, and of course, actively used as a tool for discussion and action. When using an indicator tracking table, there are 3 common mistakes teams should try to avoid. The first mistake is tracking too many indicators. When everything is measured, it becomes difficult to see what really matters, and teams quickly feel overwhelmed. The second mistake is collecting data that is never actually used. Data collection takes time and energy, and when the information sits in a table without being discussed or acted upon, it adds little value to the project. The third mistake is updating the table only to meet reporting deadlines. When the indicator tracking table is treated as a reporting requirement rather than a management tool, it loses its usefulness. So now, to avoid these pitfalls, focus on a small number of meaningful indicators and use the table consistently to support reflection, learning, and day-to-day decision making. To wrap up, the indicator tracking table is much more than a reporting template. When used well, it becomes a living tool that supports learning, accountability, and better project outcomes. If you are a project team or a community leader, start small. Choose a few meaningful indicators, track them consistently, and most importantly, use the data to guide your decisions. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Monitoring and Evaluation Circle. If you found this episode useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your network. Until next time, keep tracking what matters and keep improving your impact. My name is NelsonJF Consulting, and welcome to the Circle.